Judge Janine, John McCain was the first person who gave me an opportunity to ask them a question, a political question, on TV. It was 2008. I was a junior at Villanova University, and he was right in the midst. He had already locked up the Republican nomination for president, but the Obama versus Clinton fight there in Pennsylvania, where I was a college student, was still really going strong. And so he came onto the stage there at the pavilion at Villanova University, and he was going to get interviewed by Chris Matthews. An MSNBC producer came around and asked me if I had any questions. And that morning, earlier on the front page of the newspaper there in Philadelphia, was a picture of Hillary Clinton with a whiskey shot. And she was toasting some voters, and I thought that it was a funny photo. It was getting a lot of play there on the college campus, and so I thought it would be nice to ask Senator McCain if he wanted to go out for a shot with me. And a producer came around and said, "Hey, anybody have any questions for the senator?" I said, "Yeah, I would like to ask a question." And I told him, I said I would like to ask if he thinks that Secretary, or I guess then Senator Clinton, was just drinking the shots because she was trailing Obama at the time. And then I asked him if he wanted to go out, and I told him I wanted to ask if he wanted to go out for a shot with me. They said, "Okay, that's great. You will go second." And so I asked him the question live on TV, and he just laughed, and he paused, and he had this great reaction, and he collected himself, and he eventually got around to saying that it was one of the two best questions that he had throughout the entire campaign. And for a college junior, that is something that was so cool to hear, and it is something that I still think about all of the time. And it's also the reason that I got interested in political journalism, and that I let the LSAT books that I had from Barnes & Noble there in the main line in Pennsylvania start collecting dust, and I never pursued a career as a lawyer. And years later, it's been almost 10 years since then, I had the great pleasure of seeing Senator McCain a lot on Capitol Hill, and he loved to tell that story to other journalists that were there. And he would say, he would come up to me and he would put his arm around me and he would say to the other gathered photographers and producers and writers and reporters, he would say, "What this little jerk or what this little punk did?" And he would tell the story about me asking this crazy question in college. But he always made sure to know that if he was calling somebody a little jerk or a little punk, it's because he had a lot of great admiration for them. Senator McCain, until the end, was the Senate Armed Services Committee chairman. He was the person that you would want to go to anytime that there was anything going on, whether it was an outside the Senate scandal, something going on with the floor, and he never once walked away from us. Not everybody always wants to take a question on the Hill. Senator McCain always did, and we're going to miss him a lot there in the hallways, because he was the one who always gave us the best information of anybody, and he had the best insight based on decades of experience. Back to you.
Peter Doocy in Washington. Peter, thank you.